guys? My name is Jessica. When we think about movement on our mat or off of our mat, so in our practice or in training, we're very comfortable and used to doing movements forward and back or up and down. And oftentimes, myself included, we neglect those side to side, those lateral movements. Those are super important to make sure your entire body is strong, that you work on those imbalances and in turn prevent injury. So today we're going to get out of our comfort zone. We're going to be working on those side to side lateral movements, working on strength, mobility, and flexibility. So I have a block here, totally optional. You can use something else that's about this height, maybe a jar or a box. We're not going to be putting a ton of weight on it, or you can even have just a cushion, a small pillow. As always, I have my optional playlist in the description. Go ahead and press play on another device, and let's get started in child's pose, please. So toward the back of your mat, big toes touch, knees wider than your hips, and that's going to mean something different for everyone. I'm going to bring my knees a little wider than usual today because that's what I'm feeling like in my hips. Forehead down on the ground, hands reach forward, but keep a soft bend to your elbows. Just relax your shoulders here. So settle in. Maybe rock gently side to side with your hips. Take a few rocks of your head, massaging the center of your forehead. Settle in on your mat. Arrive to your practice. Come back to stillness. Take a slow inhale through your nose. Fill your lungs. And open mouth. Exhale, side out. Let it go. Another big inhale as you fill up your chest and fill up your belly. And open your mouth, side out, let it go. One last time, a little fuller than the last two. Big inhale. Breathing even into your mid-back. And open your mouth, forceful exhale, let it go. Begin to breathe in and out through your nose, creating a breath cycle that's slow, steady, and even. Now stay in your child's pose. And on your next inhale, start to crawl your fingertips more toward the top of your mat. So your elbows lift away from the ground. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Press firmly through your palms. Now unshrug your shoulders and then sink your hips a little further back toward your heels. Take another big inhale to lengthen through your spine. Stay for the exhale. Find a little more depth in your child's pose. On your next inhale, slowly please come up to all fours. So keep your toes together and your knees wide right here. You're going to walk your hands over toward the right a few inches. So keep your hands shoulder distance apart so your wrists are still underneath your shoulders. Just right hand comes off of your mat now. On your next inhale, exhale, sink down and back into your child's pose. So with your hands moved over to the right, you're going to feel a bigger stretch through the left side of your torso. Then inhale, come back up. Let's walk our hands even further to the right. Keep your hands shoulder distance apart. Exhale, sink down and back. Inhale, come back up. Walk your hands back to center and exhale, child's pose. Keep your elbows lifted. Press firmly through your palms. Inhale, back up to all fours. Walk your hands over to the left a few inches. And then exhale, sink your hips down and back. Feeling a lengthening through the right side of your torso now. Inhale, come back up. Walk your hands even further to the left and exhale, sink down and back. Good. Now inhale, come back up. Walk your hands back to center one last time. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale to tabletop on all fours. Walk your knees underneath your hips and then bring your shins parallel to one another. Inhale for cow pose. Drop your belly, lift your gaze, shoulders down away from your ears, and exhale, cat and round. Tuck tailbone, tuck chin, navel draws in. Inhale, cow pose. Soft bend to your elbows. Exhale, cat. Shift your hips forward about an inch or two, and then continue to move for a few breaths. Take out the structure after a round or two. Move side to side, move forward and back, kind of feeling it out. How's your body feeling today? I'm going to take some figure eights with my hips, totally optional. If you want some movements or stretches in your wrists, you can right now. Let's stay here for a couple more breaths. and back to neutral tabletop. Now, extend your right leg straight out toward the right. So heels in line with your hip and try to bring your foot flat on the floor. Even try to press the outer edge of your foot down into the ground, toes point straight forward. Inhale, cow pose, drop belly, lift gaze. Exhale, cat and round. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One last round, each posture. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Pause right here. Tuck chin into your chest. Slowly roll all the way up to standing on your left knee. All right, you guys, arms out nice and wide. Take an inhale. Exhale for gate pose. Hinge over at your right hip. Lightly place your right hand on your right leg. Left arm reaches up and over. Draw your left shoulder back. Gaze up toward the ceiling underneath your left arm. Left palm should face down. Inhale back up to center, arms reach wide. Exhale for kneeling half moon. You're going to hinge over at your left hip, reach as far as you can, then set your left palm down, right arm up toward the ceiling. You can keep your right foot down or let it float parallel to the ground. Flex your ankle. Stay long through the left side of your torso. Lift your left ear up slightly. You can stay here, option to bend your right knee, reach back after the top of your right foot with your hand. Think about kicking your shin back behind you so you're opening up through the front of your right hip and the front of your right shoulder. If you have your foot, carefully release. Kneeling half moon, take an inhale. Exhale, come back up to standing on your left knee. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, child's pose with your right leg extended. So really getting into the groin muscle. Come back up to tabletop. And let's switch it out. Other side, extend your left leg straight out toward the left. Try to flatten out your foot. Toes point straight forward. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat round. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. And pause. Tuck chin into your chest. Slowly roll all the way up to standing on your right knee this time. Arms out nice and wide. Take an inhale. Exhale, gate pose. Hinge over at your left hip. Left palm to left leg. Right arm up and over. Stay light on this left hand. Turn your right palm to face down. Draw your right shoulder back. Gaze up toward the ceiling. Inhale back up to center, arms reach wide. Exhale, kneeling half moon. Hinge really far over, right palm down, left arm up. Option to keep your foot down or let it float. Flex your ankle, point your toe straight forward. Option, bend your knee, reach back, capture the top of your foot. Start to kick your shin back behind you, opening up through the front of your left thigh and the front of your left shoulder. If you have your foot, carefully release, kneeling half moon. Take an inhale. Exhale, come back up to standing on your right knee. Inhale, arms reach tall. And exhale, child's pose with your left leg extended. Inhale, tabletop, please. Left knee back underneath your left hip. Curl your toes. Let's go downward facing dog. Relax the back of your neck. Bend both of your legs, then pedal it out if you'd like. Shift hips left and right. Create movement. Press shoulders to opposite sides of the room if it feels good. Still exploring. How are your legs feeling today? Come back to stillness. As always, keep at least a soft bend to your knees in your down dog. If you feel like you have a lot of weight or rounding in your shoulders or upper back, bend your knees as much as you'd like to encourage your chest back and tilt your tailbone up toward the ceiling. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, step your feet behind your wrists. Come to a forward fold with your feet hips distance apart, toes point straight forward. Bend your knees, and I want you to keep that soft bend to your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins. Lengthen forward through the crown of your head. Stay long in your torso. And exhale, forward fold. Let's do that again. Remember to keep a soft bend to your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. So broaden through your collarbones. The reaction to that, shoulder blades will come closer together behind you. And exhale, forward fold. One last time, just like that. Inhale, halfway lift, crown of your head forward, tailbone reaches back. Exhale, forward fold, ragdoll pose. Bend your knees a little bit more. Head and neck hangs heavy. Option to grab opposite elbow or bicep. Maybe you take a few rocks side to side. Turn your chin left and right, creating space in your spine. Letting go of any tension in your head, neck, and shoulders. All right, yogis, come back to stillness, fingertips down, your choice. Feet hips distance or toe heel your feet all the way together. I'm going to keep mine hips distance just because it feels best for me, but everyone's different. Tuck chin into your chest, bend your knees as slowly as you can. Roll all the way up to standing, stack bone by bone. Head is the very, very last to rise. Let's get going. Take a few shoulder rolls. Roll out your neck if you'd like. Come back to stillness. Turn your palms to face forward. Inhale, reach your arms out and up for mountain pose. Energize your fingertips up toward the ceiling. Fingers spread nice and wide. And exhale, forward fold. Soft bend at your knees. Hinge forward at your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back, high plank. Our first high plank, top of your push-up. Fingers spread wide, shoulders over wrists. Bring the inside crease of your elbow to face forward. Push the ground away. Broaden through your shoulder blades. Core is strong. And then your legs turn on. Bring your feet hips distance apart or even wider. Okay, bring all of your weight into your right foot. And you can always come down to your knees as a modification. So all of your weight into your right hand, rather. Left hand reaches over, taps your right shoulder. Okay, and then set it down. Right hand lifts up, tap your left shoulder. Set it back down. Try to keep your hips nice and still and facing your mat. Left hand to your right shoulder. Pause. Set it down. Right hand to your left shoulder. Set it down. Left hand, right shoulder. Set it down. Right hand, left shoulder. Set it down. Downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. Come up high into the balls of your feet. Bend your knees. Bottom of your exhale. Walk, step, or float to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Mountain pose. Look up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to your heart. Adding on. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach and lengthen. Exhale, quarter moon to the left. Drop your left arm down. Right arm reaches up and over. Breathing into your right ribs. Start to press down through your right foot. Inhale, come back up to center. Left knee lifts, one-legged mountain. Flex your left ankle. Knee comes up in line with your hip crease or maybe a little bit higher. Stay for one more inhale here. On your next exhale, a slow and big step back to a high lunge. Set your toes down, then set your knee down for a low lunge. Inhale for crescent moon. Lift chest and lift arms. Shift your weight back toward your left knee. Hug your right hip back. Now, rather than letting your pelvis tilt forward, iron out your low back. Navel draws in. Now engage your left glute. Take a big inhale to reach through your fingertips, lengthen through your side body. Exhale, option. Bend your elbows wide, small back bend. Lift your chest up. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, plant your palms. Lift your back knee, step back, high plank. Feet hips distance apart or wider. Keep equal weight in both of your palms. Drop your heels to the left and your toes face right. Okay, so you're starting to feel it in your left oblique, but lift with the left side of your hips. So lift your hips up a little bit higher. Reach forward through the crown of your head. Try not to let your chin drop. Stay for one more inhale. Bring your heels up high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. Come up high into the balls of your feet. Bend your knees. Bottom of your exhale. Walk, step, or float to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Mountain pose. Look up, your palms touch. Exhale, hands to your heart. Other side, inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, quarter moon to the right. Right arm down, left arm up and over. Start to press down into your left foot this time. Inhale back to center. Right knee lifts one-legged. Flex your right ankle. Toes draw up toward your shin. Drop your outer right hip down slightly, then lift your knee up even higher. One more inhale. Exhale as slowly as you can. Okay, take a big step back. Tap your toes to the ground, then knee to the ground. Crescent moon. So same thing here. Shift your weight back. Hug your left hip back. Neutral pelvis. So you can even touch your pelvis. If you feel like your tips are reaching forward, lengthen your tailbone down. Navel draws in. Then reach your arms back up. Lengthen through your side body. So think about reaching up through your ring fingers. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows wide. Lift your chest up. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back, high plank. Now, equal weight in both of your palms. Drop your heels to the right, toes to the left. Reach forward through the crown of your head. Lift with your right oblique, so hips lift up a little bit higher, breathing. Bring your heels back up to center. Downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. Come up high into the balls of your feet, bend your knees, bottom of your exhale, walk, step, or float to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, sit your hips low. Arms can reach forward or up, your choice. Settle your weight back toward your heels so your toes are nice and light. Now, keeping your chest lifted. Again, here, we want to try to find that neutral pelvis. So think about reaching your tailbone toward the back edge of your mat. Take an inhale. Stay Stay for the exhale. Good. One more inhale here. Then only your arms move. Exhale, chair plane. Sweep your arms back. Keep your chest tall. Try not to dive your chest forward. All of your weight comes into your right foot. Inhale, left knee lifts, one-legged mountain. On your next exhale, you'll bring your hand to your heart. Okay, keep the height of your left knee, but draw your knee over toward the left side of the room as far as you can. Then inhale, come back up to center, reach your arms tall. Exhale, warrior three with airplane arms. Reach your arms back, torso reaches forward, left leg back. Flex your left ankle. Square off your hips toward your mat, so drop your outer left hip down. Keep a soft bend to your standing leg. Breathing. Keep your shoulders lifted up a little higher than your hips. Now we're going to start to externally rotate your left hip. So turn your left toes toward the left side of the room, bend deeper into your right knee, a big step back for warrior two. So adjust your stance if needed. Make sure it's nice and wide. Right toes toward the front of your mat, left toes toward the left side of your mat. So start to draw your right knee over toward your right pinky toe. Find the neutral pelvis here as well. Lengthen your tailbone down. Take an inhale to broaden through your chest. On your exhale, relax your shoulders down. Find a little more depth in your right knee. Now, one more inhale here as you reach tall through the crown of your head. And exhale, extended side angle. Hinge forward at your right hip. Right elbow on top of your right thigh to start. Left arm to sky. Now, with your elbow propped up, you're able to create nice length through the right side of your torso rather than rounding in and crunching in. So stay lifted here. And then rather than dumping into this right shoulder, lift out of your right shoulder. Keep your chest broad. Keep pressing firmly through the outer edge of your left foot. Now, I'm going to give you an option to level up, and this is going to prep us for some postures later on in practice. So option, left arm up overhead, bicep by your ear, palm faces down. Here's the tricky part. Option, right arm up overhead. So nothing changes, just gets a little more challenging. Keep the center of your chest facing the side wall. Hold 3. I know. Hold 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left palm, right, left thigh, right arm up and over. Breathing into your right ribs. Keep your torso how it is. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Get a deeper side body stretch. One more inhale. And exhale, hands to your mat. Frame your front foot. Step back, high plank. Now, start to roll over to the outer edge of your left foot. You can keep your feet staggered or stack your right foot on top. Let's come into side plank. So modifications for side plank, you can always set your left knee down and or left forearm if your left wrist or shoulder is bothering you. So gaze straight forward, lift with your left oblique. Try to create length from your left heel all the way through to your left shoulder. One more inhale, lift hips up. Exhale, right palm down, downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward, come up high into the balls of your feet, bend knees. Bottom of your exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, chair pose. Just your arms move. Exhale, chair plane. Inhale, right knee lifts, one-legged mountain. Flex your ankle. Hands to your heart. Exhale, knee out toward the right side of the room. Keep the height of your knee. Inhale, back up to center. And exhale, warrior three with airplane arms. So keep your hips squared to your mat for now. Soft bend to your standing leg. Reach forward through the crown of your head at the same time, energizing back through your right heel. Keep shoulders lifted a little higher than your hips. Now, start to externally rotate the right hip. So right toes face the right side of the room. Bend deep into your left knee, lean forward, then a big step back, warrior two. Settle in, left knee toward your left pinky toe. Keep your back leg strong and straight, pressing through the outer edge of your right foot. Now, without actually moving your feet, I want you to think about dragging your heels in toward one another so you feel the lift from your pelvic floor and you feel your inner thighs start to work here. Take an inhale, broaden through your chest. Exhale, can you find a little more depth in your left knee? Relax your shoulders down. Another inhale here. Exhale, extended side angle. Left elbow to thigh, right arm to sky. Try to spiral the center of your chest toward the right side of the room. Stay long through the left side of your torso. Hips come forward slightly and chest is back. Inhale, option, right arm up overhead. Here we go. Exhale, left arm up overhead and hold it here. Breathe, hold 3, hold 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right palm, right thigh. Keep your torso how it is. Exhale, straighten your front leg. One more inhale, reach and lengthen. And exhale, hands to your mat, frame your front foot, step back, high plank, roll to the outer edge of your right foot, stuck your left foot on top, or you can keep them staggered, left arm up toward the ceiling. Now, each side doesn't have to look exactly alike. So if you have a pre-existing injury in this shoulder or wrist, modify however you need to. Something may feel a little different on this side, and that's okay. Knee down, forearm can come down, lift your hips up wherever you are, lift your right ear up, stay for one more inhale. Exhale, left palm down, downward facing dog. All right, yogis, let's flow. Breath to movement. Inhale, look forward. Hands to the balls of your feet, bend knees, bottom of your exhale. Travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Chair pose, sit low. Chair plane, sweep it back. Left knee lifts one-legged mountain. Hands to your heart. Exhale, knee out toward the left. Keep the height of your knee. Inhale, back up to center. And exhale, warrior three, airplane arms. External rotation in your left hip. Take a big step back. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Maybe arms don't even touch your thighs at all. Right palm up, left palm down. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stay for the exhale, but straighten your front leg. One more inhale here. Exhale, hands to your mat. Frame your front foot. Pause. Left palm stays planted. Right arm up toward the ceiling. If you're using your knee, you can set your left knee down right here. Otherwise, roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Lift your hips up. Steady through your left shoulder. And a big step back. Side plank. Stay for one big inhale right here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next side, inhale, look forward. Come up behind the balls of your feet. Exhale, travel to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Sit low, inhale, chair pose. Exhale, chair plane. Right knee lifts one-legged. Exhale, knee out toward the right, hands to your heart. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, warrior three. External rotation in your right hip. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle with your arms lifted. Inhale, reverse. Stay low on your front knee for now. Then exhale, straighten. One more big inhale. Exhale, hands to your mat. Frame your front foot. Right palm stays planted. Inhale, left arm up toward the ceiling. Exhale, make your way safely, please, to side plank. Big inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adding on this last round, inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top. I found a little spider on my mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Chair pose. That was probably the most calm I've ever been in a spider, or seen a spider. Exhale, chair plane. Inhale, left knee, left one-legged mountain. Here's where I'm going to give you some options to add on. Right hand to your right hip. Okay. Option left hand to the outside of your left knee. Option left peace fingers and thumb around your left big toe. So if you have your big toe, you're going to draw your left shoulder back into its socket. Maybe you start to reach the sole of your foot toward the front of the room, but keeping your knee bent. So if you can keep your chest lifted and your shoulder into its socket, maybe you start to extend your left leg forward. Now, wherever you are, start to guide your leg over toward the left side of the room. Maybe your right arm reaches out toward the right. Now, if you have your foot or your knee, wherever you are, you're going to let go of your leg, but keep it how it is. Yeah, see, I'm even shaking. Inhale, back up to center, reach tall. Exhale, warrior three. Bring your hands to your heart this time. So start to reach your right fingertips down, left hand to your left hip, external rotation in your left hip, coming into half moon. So we've already worked our obliques enough that we don't need a prop underneath our fingertips. I know sometimes tendency is to grab onto the ground or grab onto a block, but if you keep that lift like we've been working on in our extended side angle, you don't need anything. You can stay long through your torso right here. Flex your left ankle, option left arm reaches up toward the sky. Take a deep bend to your right knee, big step back, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg, star pose, turn your toes in and bring your feet parallel to one another. Exhale, skandasana, side lunge, bend into your left knee, keep your right leg straight. Try to keep your left foot flat on the floor. You can keep your right toes down or pivot your toes up toward the ceiling. Option, left arm down, right arm up, open up. Come back to center. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior two. Flip right palm up. Inhale, reverse. Stay for the exhale, straighten your front leg. One more inhale here. Exhale, hands to your mat, frame your front foot, pause, left palm down, right arm up. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot, step back, side plank. Option, right leg lifts up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Chair pose, your last chair pose, I promise. Exhale, chair plane. Inhale, right knee lifts. And stay here. Left hand to your left hip. Option, right hand to the outside of your right knee. Option, peace fingers and thumb around your right big toe. Now, if you have your big toe, draw your shoulder back into its socket. Maybe you start to reach your heel forward. Check in with your shoulder and your chest. If it's still lifted, maybe you start to extend your right leg forward. Wherever you are, guide your leg over toward the right. If you have your knee, see if you can lift your knee up a little bit higher. Maybe left arm out toward the left. Now, keeping your leg exactly how it is, let go. Inhale back to center. Exhale, warrior three. This time, hands at your heart. Start to reach your left fingertips down, but keep a good 12 inches between your fingertips and your mat. Right hand to your right hip. External rotation in your right hip. Open up your chest to face the right side of the room. Maybe right arm floats up. Breathing here for 3. Breathing here 2. And a big step back, warrior 2. Inhale, star pose. Feet come parallel. Exhale, skandasana, bend into your right knee. Keep your left leg straight. So right heel stays flat on the floor. If your heel's coming up, just lift your hips up slightly. Option, open up your arms, right arm down, left arm up. Exhale, close it off, hands to your heart. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip left palm up. Inhale, reverse. Stay for the exhale, straighten your front leg. One more big inhale here. And exhale, hands to your mat. Right palm stays planted. Left arm up toward the ceiling. Take an inhale. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Step back, side plank. Inhale, option left leg lifts. Even if your right knee is down. Exhale, left palm down. Downward facing dog. You guys, we made it. Take a slow inhale through your nose. Fill your lungs. And open your mouth. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, travel to the top, please. Toe heel your feet out wider than your hips. Let's come into Balasana. Okay, yogi squat, hips down. Keep your heels flat, just like we worked on in our skandasana. So if your heels are peeling up, you can lift your hips up higher to flatten out your feet, or you can roll your mat up underneath your hips. You can even have a seat on a block or two, something underneath your hips. You're still in a squat here. We're going to be here for a minute. So if you were hoping for an arm balance, you're welcome to practice that right now. Maybe flying frog or crow pose. Otherwise, we're working on time under tension in our squat. One of the best things you can do for your ankles, knees, and hips, especially if you sit in a chair all day. So you can rock side to side, keep your hands at your heart, or I like to take the yin variation, just fingertips down, tuck chin and rest. Remember to breathe. All right, yogis, fingertips down, hips come high. Toe heel your feet back underneath your hips. Bend your knees, roll all the way up to standing. Okay, turn to face the right side of the room with a nice wide stance here. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale for Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. Relax the back of your neck. Bring your weight slightly toward your toes and engage your quads to help release and lengthen through your hamstrings. Now come up to a halfway lift, look forward. Walk your hands forward so they're off of your mat and onto the floor. Walk your feet back so they're off of your mat and onto the floor. So we're in kind of a short, wide, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, bring them down to your mat, coming into frog pose. So flex your ankles. Knees are in line with your hips rather than leaning forward or leaning too far back, right in line. And then heels are right underneath your knees. So 90-degree bend to your knees. You can stay on your palms or maybe come down into your forearms. These are some of the postures where we're reminded if we neglect the side-to-side lateral movements. But so important to work on mobility and flexibility in these areas to prevent injury and all around move better. So I promise there is no graceful way to get out of this posture. When you're ready, come out to your palms. You're gonna bring your heels in a little closer together and then slowly have a seat on your mat. All right, you guys, extend your left leg out to the right, bend your right knee, bring your foot against your inner thigh. Here's where I'm going to use my block. It's totally optional. Again, you can use a cushion if you want to, or you don't need a prop at all. But I'm going to bring the block to the inside of my left knee. Okay, I'm going to bring my left elbow on top of the block, make a fist, lie the side of my head on my fist, and then right hand behind your head. Reach your elbow up toward the ceiling, and you're opening up through the right side of your torso. Let's come up to seated. Switch it out. Extend your right leg out toward the right, bend your left knee. If you're using a prop, move it to the inside of your right knee. Right elbow on top of the prop. Make a fist. Lie the side of your head on your fist. Left hand behind your head. Point your elbow up toward the ceiling. Go ahead and come back up to seated. Face the front of your mat. Move your block off to the side. Let's make our way onto our backs. Please hug knees into your chest. Rock side to side if you'd like. Spread your knees wide. Bring the soles of your feet to face up toward the ceiling. Happy baby. Flex your ankles. Make sure your knees are on the outside of your shoulders. Can you draw your tailbone down to the ground and at the same time keep your head and shoulders on the ground? Carefully release. Hug both knees in. Bring your arms out wide. Take an inhale. Exhale, supine twist. Drop your knees over toward the left side of the room. Allow your chest to be broad. Let your shoulder heads be nice and heavy. Bring your knees back to center. Hug both knees in for a moment. Realign your spine. And arms out wide. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop both legs over toward the right. Come back to center, hug both knees in. If you need any final postures, you're welcome to take them right now. Otherwise, take your time setting up for Shavasana.